Good evening. After two previous phases of the inquiry into the Manchester Arena bombing nearly 6 years ago, there was one major question left to answer. Could Salman Abedi have been stopped before he killed 22 people at a pop concert packed with teenagers? Well, today, MI5 made an unprecedented apology after the inquiry chairman said, yes, indeed, he could. Sir John Saunders said the security service had received a vital piece of intelligence, but its slow response led to a significant missed opportunity to prevent the attack. As for who radicalised Abedi, Sir John blamed the bomber's parents, but said the mosque Abedi attended in nearby Disbury had shown a willful blindness to activities there.
Police emergency, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, there's been an explosion at Manchester Arena!
More than 2,000 days on, we learned today how things might have been so different.
Is anybody injured?
Yes, loads! There's loads injured.
How a chance to prevent the attack at Manchester Arena was missed.
It's absolutely manic!
Wearing wires around his waist and a homemade bomb in his rucksack, it was Salman Abedi who attacked the concert venue. But the questions answered today were not only about him, but about the unnameable intelligence officers tasked with keeping Britain safe.
Oh my God. What's going on? What just happened?
The families of his victims will never hear some of the secret evidence heard by the inquiry. But its chairman concluded today that MI5 missed a significant opportunity to prevent the attack.
It is not possible to reach any conclusion on the balance of probabilities or to any other evidential standard as to whether the attack would have been prevented. However, there was a realistic possibility that actionable intelligence could have been obtained which might have led to actions preventing the attack.
The report found that the security services failed to act on two pieces of intelligence received in the months before the attack, but couldn't reveal the details. Had intelligence been reported more promptly, it could have led to Abedi being stopped at Manchester Airport on his return from Libya 4 days before the bombing. Neither piece of intelligence was shared with counter-terrorism police. Relatives of some of the victims held flowers. Others held back tears as they responded to what they'd heard.
This is a devastating conclusion for us. The failures exposed in this report are unacceptable. The public are entitled to expect that information of national security importance will be acted on speedily and, crucially, that the system will ensure that this happens.
MI5 says more than 100 improvements have been made since the attack. 3 years after it happened, ITV News went inside the agency, witnessing it at work for the first time. But after today's report, a rare public comment from its director, an unprecedented apology for what went wrong.
MI5 exists to stop atrocities. To all those whose lives were forever changed on that awful night, I am so sorry that MI5 did not prevent the attack at the Manchester Arena. I deeply regret that such intelligence was not obtained.
Chloe Rutherford and her boyfriend Liam Curry were among the 22 people killed at the concert. The teenagers' parents say they cannot forget and will not forgive.
It's absolutely devastating to think that it could have been stopped. That wasn't the only opportunity. There was other opportunities right up until moments before. So, but it starts with them, doesn't it? It starts with that significant missed. It's unforgivable, unforgivable.
You know, ultimately what they're saying is your children might have survived. You know, we might not be sitting here. You might not have spent nearly the last 6 years going through this hell. That's a bit of a hard pill to swallow, to be honest, yeah.
For some of the victims' families, it is distressing, and for MI5, it is damaging. Today's report is an important moment in the process of grieving and learning, but it's not the end.
And Rohit joins us now. I mean, Rohit, some questions answered there. Maybe frustrating, of course, that we can't see the intelligence and, you know, see exactly what was missed, though obviously everyone understands the reasons. But how confident are we, therefore, how confident are you, therefore, that those kind of mistakes couldn't happen again, or could they?
Well, you know, these recommendations are all about trying to make that less likely. But we saw today that mistakes were made, that things could and should have been different. We saw also potentially the gravest consequences of opportunities being missed. But something also to say, which, you know, we really picked up during our time a few years ago filming inside MI5, which you saw in that report, is that this sort of hypothetical situation where intelligence agencies can reach a situation where terrorist atrocities become impossible is simply considered by everyone in this field to be unrealistic. Of course, part of the job of intelligence agencies is not only deciding what to look at, but what not to look at, and that's where a problem was made here. Of course, resources are part of the assessment, but this is all coming at a time when intelligence agencies are being asked to do more in terms of Iran, Russia, and China too. So here we have a situation where, you know, this private agency is under public scrutiny following this public inquiry, which was held largely in private.
OK, thank you very much indeed.